this summer, he's back, the ticks are back. I have one in here already. Uh, I've had 5 tick bites. This is the number 6 tick I've had. And I have a dog. She's a 3.5-year-old black lab, and I don't want her to also get ticks and want to avoid getting sick. So we're spraying to keep that tick population down.
That was Camille Freed. We'll hear more from her here in a moment. But as you go out and enjoy the beautiful summer weather, experts are sending a warning that this could be the peak, I should say, of tick season. Right now, I do want to turn things over. This right now is Will Jones. He is the general manager for Green Pest Solutions, and they actually specialize in spray treatments that are safe not only for humans, but for pets as well. Again, I am Janae Hancock here at the Live Desk. And Will, I do want to say thank you so much for joining me here at the Live Desk to talk about such a huge issue, not only here locally, but across the nation. I do want to turn things straight over to you. And I want to ask you, to tell me more about ticks so far this year and how we have been affected here locally.
Yes, we've been having a lot of tick activity this year, a lot more than in years past. And we've getting that information from a lot of our Green Pest Solution customers, where they're having multiple bites, just like you just saw from the video before there. So it's a big concern for us because ticks do transmit multiple diseases, and we want to make sure that we're protecting people's families as well as their children and pets from these different diseases. Ticks are very, very prevalent in our area. We have 3 main ticks that we deal with the Lone Star tick, the deer tick, and American dog tick, and they all transmit different diseases. So it's a big concern for our area.
Yeah, and I do want to give our viewers a better look at those ticks that you just mentioned. So as I go through these photos, if you can just kind of let us know exactly what these ticks are and how people can point them out.
So obviously, and I'm having a little trouble with the picture there, but obviously the Lone Star tick has a white dot on the back. This looks to be the one that I'm looking at now. Looks like the American dog tick. Then we also have the deer tick that's prevalent in our area. Looks like the deer tick that's prevalent in our area, and then also there'll be the Lone Star tick, which would have the white dot on its back that looks like a star, which is what gives it its name. It's hard to tell when a tick is fed, as you can see how that one on the left side there. Once they feed, they expand and they fill up with blood, so they get pretty round and robust at that stage, and then it makes it really interesting for identifying at that point.
Right. And before we move on, I do want to list some interesting facts that I know you all sent over to us here. The number of people suffering from tick-borne diseases in the U.S. has more than doubled in the last 20 years. And also another interesting fact, the world's first cases of new tick-borne disease, the Heartland virus, was discovered in St. Joseph, Missouri, and that was just 13 years ago. So you definitely want to make sure that you are knowledgeable on these ticks. Tell us a little bit more about what people should know as they go out and enjoy the beautiful weather this summer.
Yeah, so when people are out, you want to control what you can control. When you go out to parks or different festivals or things of that nature around the holiday, which a lot of people are doing, you don't know if those areas have been treated by a professional like Green Pest Solutions. So you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself using some kind of a spray-on repellent to keep those ticks from biting and attaching to you. You also want to make sure that you're protecting your pets. A lot of people are going to take their dogs or other animals with them to these places, so they want to make sure that they have some kind of prevention on them as well. The things that you want to protect when you're at home, you want to control what you can control. And by using Green Pest Solutions to treat your yard areas, we can make sure that we're treating for chiggers, fleas, and ticks. And those ticks that transmit diseases. They transmit diseases like the Heartland virus that you just mentioned, which we were ground zero for in St. Joe, Missouri, approximately 13 years ago. But then also they transmit Lyme disease, as well as as well as the Rocky Mountain spotted fever. That happens to be the most deadly disease. And unfortunately for us, 60% of those cases of that disease are in 5 states, and Missouri is one of those 5 states. So getting your yards treated for those ticks is going to be helpful to protect you and your family. We use products here at Green Pest Solutions that are safe for you, for your children, for your pets, while also eradicating those ticks. I also mentioned and suggest a treatment for mosquitoes as well that carry that West Nile virus. So doing a combination of both of those treatments can help limit the risk of you and your family and protect you from tick and mosquito transmitted diseases.
For sure. And so a lot of people are at risk, even if they're just doing simply yard work. I know Camille said that she does yard work every year and she had ticks galore one summer. And that's when she actually called Green Pest and the solution was fixed. But this summer, things are back. And so she's dealing with a lot of ticks again this time around. And I want to take another listen in to what she says.
When we had the technician spray after we noticed the tick bites, we didn't have any more. I had no more tick bites the rest of that summer. So it definitely is doing something positive to keep the ticks away.
So she says that the solutions are definitely doing something positive to keep the ticks away, and they're inevitable in public spaces like you just mentioned. But, how can people prevent from being bitten? I know you also mentioned maybe off spray. What else can they do to keep from getting those bites from ticks this summer?
So absolutely, you want to make sure you're using some kind of a repellent spray, but also the key is inspection. When you come back home from a place like that, being out in public, being at a festival or something like that, you want to make sure to inspect your body to look for any ticks on you, any tick bites, those things. If you have that happen, we have some information on our website at gpspest.com about how to properly remove ticks. But absolutely, you want to use like some fine-tooth tweezers to pinch that head close to the skin of the tick if it's on you, to pull that off, using the solid pressure to pull that off, not wiggling or anything like that. You don't want that head to stay onto your body. Once you pull that off, you want to make sure that you're cleaning your area using soap and water and or alcohol. And then make sure you want to keep an eye out on that to make sure that if you have any infection or anything like that, that you're consulting a physician to get yourself taken care of. But again, the key is if you go out to places like that, inspect yourself afterwards to make sure there's nothing on you, and then also check your pets as well.
Yeah, and so we have those tips listed here on the screen right now for our viewers to see. Now, once they remove the tick safely, what should they do with that tick after? I know Camille mentioned that she actually put that 6th tick into a prescription bottle, but what should they do with that tick once they remove it safely from their bodies?
So you want to make sure that you don't squish it first off. You don't want to expose yourself to any more of it than you have to. You don't want to get any of the blood or anything like that anywhere. A lot of people choose to put it into a container like Camille did. You can keep it if you want to have it checked at certain places. We'll check those different things, especially if you come down with something further down the line, because again, they do transmit different diseases, and it would not hurt to have that if you end up needing to seek professional help from a physician.
Now, well, I have never, thankfully, had to experience a bite from a tick. How do you know when you've been bitten by a tick? I know mosquitoes, I know I could feel mosquitoes usually on me, and then you start itching and things like that. But how do you know when you've been bitten by a tick?
So the thing about it, everybody reacts differently when it comes to tick bites, just like with mosquitoes. Some people act differently. So again, the inspection is key to take a look and look around for any redness, any soreness, any bumps, anything of that nature could show up on you. But since everybody reacts differently, everybody has different skin tones, different things of that nature. It's not a specific things to look for each person. But the key is just making sure to look for any abnormalities, anything different on your skin. And again, of course, in general sense, any bites, any stinging, any redness.
Again, go ahead, Will.
No, I was just saying, and of course, if you see the ticks themselves, that's all.
Perfect. And before I let you go, I do want to show our viewers one last time how to safely remove ticks. Again, those tips are here on your screen. It is important that you use fine-tipped tweezers to grasp the head of the tick and use steady pressure and gently pull outward. Again, you want to make sure that you are cleaning the bite area and your hands thoroughly once you remove that tick. Again, thank you so much, Will, for joining me here at the live desk. It is a pleasure. And I know that if people are looking for more information, where exactly can they go to get that from you all?
They can go right to our website at gpspest.com or contact us at Green Pest Solutions.
Right. And I do want to touch on one more thing that Camille said during her interview. I know she has been bitten 6 times so far this summer by ticks. And she said that she turned to you all because she wanted a solution to be safe, not only for her, but for her dog as well. So thank you again for joining me. And again, we just want to make sure that people are safe out there and they are aware of ticks and how dangerous they truly can be. So thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.